Hello?
Lecture for
Hello?
complete Rigging Pro and Anime Studio users. Enjoy. Hi, this is McCoy Buck with WatchMeWork.com. And in the next couple of lectures, we're going to be talking about
Hello?
Rigging Pro and Anime Studio. For this lecture, we're just going to talk about cinematic IK for short and in the next couple of lectures. So by default, this is what it's called. For this lecture, we're just going to talk about in the next couple of lectures. And I move it backwards and forwards. You can see that not only the hand is moving, but also the forearm and the arm. This is an example of schematic. Basically, when you take a bone that is a child of the which we'll get to a little bit later, but this is set up as a child snap to the hand, it is a child to the forearm. The forearm is a child to the arm. That's making the forearm making the forearm the parent of the hand. That might be a little bit confusing, so we have another lecture on that as well. But what I want to focus on is your
Hello, I can hear you. I think so. I think I just need to get used to streaming and figuring out kind of how to do stuff. Um, because if I want to stream like what I'm working on when I make music and stuff like that, and I'm not sure how to, I guess, stream the music for people to be able to hear it aside from like taking my headphones out, and I don't want to create like an endless cycle of feedback. Even with headphones in? Not sure. Yeah, I just have my laptop and I don't have any other like external devices. Like I just have my computer, mic and headphone jack. Yeah, I was like, I just want to turn it off. Like, how do I stop it? Okay, well, I'll have to like try it again sometime. Maybe I'll try and figure it out like when I'm supposed to be streaming like in March or something. Yeah, I like to compose music in my free time and stuff and like the bigger career goal I guess would be to make music for movies and video games. I think it would be cool. So I can play the saxophone, uh, both tenor and alto because they're the same thing basically. And then very basic piano. I really have to practice at that more. Um, but that's kind of it for right now. But I'd love to learn like more instruments. Some string instruments would be cool, like the cello or violin. And then drums. Oh wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, I used to have this little guitar that my grandpa found at, like, a garage sale once, and, like, the handle of it is really wide, and my hands are, like, really small, and so it was really hard to, like, do any weird, awful fingerings or, like, hold down all the strings on, like, a certain fret. So I think I just if I wanted to learn it, like, just get a smaller guitar. It could be, I really don't know. Like I said, he found it at, like, some garage sale and was just like, "Here you go." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool." Um, yeah. Here, actually, I think the latest song I made I put some stuff on SoundCloud whenever I make something new or, like, work in progress stuff. Um, can you send, like, links through the chat, through, like, the general chat? Oh, did I hear somebody else? Kinda sounds like Walker. Oh, that's Chris. I made like, speaking of guitars, I made, where is it at? Uh, I wanna send it just to, like, you, I don't know how to do that in, like, the general channel. Uh, yeah. Mm, there's the viewer chat, yeah, uh, my username is, wait, where's it at? It's the same as, the one in the chat, except it doesn't have a 2, it's just RN on SoundCloud. It's kind of funny because I'm terrible at like thinking of like up new names or usernames and stuff. So like I just took that name. It used to be my email like username for like when I was in school. So I was like, this works. I'll just use this for like a bunch of stuff. The make sure to not just my stuff is under R and Herm. The like SoundCloud also shows the stuff that I've liked and like reblogged. Um, so that stuff is not me. I mean, still listen to it if you want, but yeah, the stuff that's mine is under R and Herm. I don't know. Like, I think I came up when I searched myself on like just in the search bar. It has my profile picture as kind of like the same one for Google Hangouts. Um, yeah. Actually, here, you know what could have worked better is I could just Slack you. I didn't even think about that. I just till now. I was like, I could just like Slack you this stuff. But one of the songs I want you to listen to is Hazy Days, and I used like a guitar. It's like through MIDI and everything like that through a plugin. Um, there you go. Yeah, like I have a plugin called Massive, and I have like a bunch of presets and stuff that I've gathered, and I think I think this actually came from Ableton's one of their Ableton packs, actually. So I was able to compose like stuff through MIDI through like the MIDI instrument that they came with or something like that. So I actually yeah, so like I just once you uh put the plugin Massive in, like it'll turn my laptop keyboard into like some of the notes. So I'll just play those and move them around like on the scale. Uh, to be honest, I really only know Hans Zimmer, but he's also done like a really good job. Um, I really like his work on the Sherlock Holmes movie. I think it's the first one. I think my favorite song is like the Discombobulate one off the album. Oh yeah, that movie? Well, that's cool. Um, I rewatched that like a while ago, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit, like the movie in general, because I'm like, I don't know, just hell raining down. I was like, ah. Yeah, I didn't remember any of that. You should send me a link to Fez or something, I'll have to look it up because I've never heard of it before. Mm-mm. No, that's a friend of mine's. He's really good though too. He does a lot of drum and bass, like electronic music. I like that song. Like, I wanna try and make electronic music, and whenever I try to make, like, some kind of dance tune, it never, ever turns out like a dance tune. It ends up being, like, some electronic, like, storytelling vibe thing, and I'm like, "This is not what I intended, but it still is okay." Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Same for me. Honestly, probably. Can you still hear me? Okay, sorry. It said voice disconnected, so I was like, um, but like I graduated from school like 6 months, and like in May, this past May. So I started getting into music more senior year, so that was a whole year, and then the end of my junior year. So probably only like a year and a half, maybe. Um, in school, I really wanted to work on music. I never actually went for music production or composition or whatever. Um, I was actually arts technology, which is stuff along the lines of like web design, programming, web design, stuff like that. Um, but I did an independent study like my senior year where I wanted to make electronic music, take a good stab at it, and I made a whole album based off of inspired by this video game actually that I played called The Wolf Among Us. I love that game. Um, and so I made different songs based off some of the characters and places, and then other researched nursery rhymes, myths, mythological creatures. And I only used samples at the time because I wasn't really sure how to necessarily use Ableton and plugins as well. Um, so I just put samples together, and I think I have in a one of my playlists is the whole album. It's called The Beginning on SoundCloud. But that was my first stab at like electronic music. Um, and I kind of want to continue just making music and not just electronic music but also classical stuff. Um, I also want to try and get into like DJing, all that good stuff. Like everything. Can I just do everything music related? Yeah, I have not opened it yet, but I did receive it. Oh, wow. Oh. Yeah, I really loved The Wolf Among Us. I loved how his decision making, I'm not I'm not into first person shooters or like scary movie games and more of like action and adventure, fantasy, role playing kind of stuff. Like I've also played Tales of the Borderlands made by them. And that's really good. That's basically the same setup as like Wolf Among Us. Even though I've never played like any of the other Borderlands games. Uh, I mean, I followed along pretty well with what they had presented. I'd kind of seen stuff about Borderlands before. Understanding that it was kind of like a open world kind of game, kind of like Fallout, but just different characters and stuff like that. So like, I think they explained it pretty well, and I was able to follow along and stuff like that. Me neither. Yeah, I like the look of it a lot better than before. Um I think I don't remember if the little pop-up box mentioned that if you hover over, there's the swap button because I was looking for it. So I think that would be one thing I would I would mention, I guess, in my feedback. But I thought it went really well. My only question, I guess, is like if I wanted to change topics, I assume I'd have to do a new stream, maybe, or could I just change topics and still have the same stream? All right, I guess like if I wanted to go from streaming music to streaming like After Effects or something like that. Because I know when you have like the start streaming, it'll give you like options of like what kind of topic you're doing. So I don't know if that like totally matters or like how they categorize stuff in different streams. If I could just use the same one and change that somehow, so then I'm not having to keep redoing streams. I guess that could be some good feedback too. I really don't know how that works a whole lot. Um, yeah, so like at the very beginning of when I first opened the testing site, it had a pop-up saying, "Hey, we have a new feature." I didn't really read all through it, which is my fault. Um, but I didn't know if like that mentioned that when you hover over a video, that's when the swap button comes up. Because I was like physically looking for where is it at? Like, is it between the two videos? Is it on the side of the screen? Um, so I guess I would like that to be more like extremely visible and intuitive, I guess, more so because because I even asked in the chat, like, where is that at? So I think that might help streamers, even if they just put it like in the middle, like in between the two videos, or like even at the top like have a button where by like end pairing or something, that has a switch swap button. I think that would be helpful. Um, or at least have like a note of that or something somewhere. Mhm. 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 Yeah. I mean, I would even say, like, if you wanted to put it by, like, the end pairing button or even over, like, on the I don't know if I put it on the chat, but, like, either by, like, the end pairing button or, like, in between them or somewhere at the top right here, so you see it and you're like, "Oh, what's this button do?" And if you hover over it, it'll say, like, swap. That's more intuitive than me hovering over the video. Like, if they were the same size? Well, I think it Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I think I kinda mentioned something like that in the first test, and then maybe having the chat located underneath, like, the whole like, both videos, and one would be bigger and smaller like they are now. Because I like this setup, where it is, the main one is bigger than the other one, but I don't think he was on board with that idea, either. Because I guess he was saying that they tried it out and it may have looked not as good, but I'm fine with if they keep have the layout how it is now. I don't mind that. Like when both streams are running. Oh gosh. So if I swap, crap. I feel like such a liar because I thought it was working well, and it's now that your the main video that I'm watching, your stream, and I want to switch there. It's not letting me switch them. Um, so I feel like a liar because I sent that to the test user, whoever that was. I think it might have been Chris. Um, so it's like, yeah, it works fine, but I didn't really test it again. So yeah, like it's not letting me switch back after doing it once. Yeah. Yeah. Um, sorry, go ahead. Um, I think I'd want the option not to be checked as, like, automatic pairing. I think, maybe starting out on my own, and then if I felt like pairing with somebody else, do that. Um, maybe have a button because I don't know what it looks like if you don't have that automatic pairing checked. Like, when you initially start streaming, like, no matter the category? For music making? Oh. Oh, okay. Or yeah, I understand what you're saying now, like, more under, like, the generalized channels even or miscellaneous. Yeah, I think the preference should be there. Um, yeah, because I feel like that might be, overwhelming for new people or people who may be on the fence, about streaming on Watch Me Work. Uh, uh, yeah, I think the preference should definitely be there because if I wanna just do my own thing, at first and then feel like doing that later on, then yeah. But like you said, they're gonna get to that feature eventually. I don't remember the date he said. That's uh, I don't know. I think that sounds like a good date. Not that all of our other projects are due on that date, but like I think that sounds familiar. So maybe because I think he wants us to start streaming ourselves on like the 6th of March. Oh, no worries. I've enjoyed talking to you. I don't think I've actually talked to you before in person before this, so it was really cool to chat. Um, and I mean, if you want to stay on, like I thought, well, now that you're like talking about what to say in the email, like we could both stay on or something and draft our emails, and if we forget an idea or something, could talk about it or something. Yeah. Can I end this pairing or? I literally just had a black screen like the whole time.